Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Kyle here with Family Firearm Reviews. Today we're going to do a little deeper dive into our Taurus Tx22 Compact. We're going to do a bit of an unboxing, see what it comes with. We're also going to go over features, we're going to go over measurements, we're also going to go over weights. We're going to see what it weighs fully loaded and see how great of a training aid this could be for someone who maybe had the GX4 or maybe the G3, something like that, or maybe just a compact and you wanted to start working with a red dot. This has a lot of great features to help you with that. So with that, let's open up this box. So it does come with our nice little Taurus box here. Nothing major, nothing fancy. We do have our manual, which is actually a very nice manual. There's lots of different pictures in there. I pulled the lifetime warranty sticker off, but it gives you a very good tutorial of what the firearm is, what it's about. It's got a very good step-by-step loading, unloading the firearm. It's very good with takedown. So there's lots of good pictures in these, which is really important, especially if this is going to be one of your first firearms. With that, we also have our Join the NRA. We got some discount codes, and we have our lifetime warranty here from Taurus. Now, in the box, we do have the firearm. So let's check that that's unloaded. Lock that slide back. Nothing in there. Good to go there. And it does come with two magazines here, and the magazines are 13 rounds. So you do have two 13+1s. They are plastic mags, so I think that's a way to keep the cost down. They do have followers on the side that you can pull down when you're loading if you'd like to do that. But they also have a little mag loader here too that has the nice Taurus logo, a little bit of stippling here to help you load those magazines, right? And we all know loading 22 rimfire magazines is really important, getting them in there straight and properly. To make sure that they fire and function properly when we're out there on the range. So we'll stick that off to the side. We also get our gun lock as always. I got my snap cap in there from earlier, so we'll have that today while testing the trigger. And then we do have a threaded barrel adapter. So this can be threaded. So you can put this on and make it 1/2x28. Let me move the box out of the way. I can show you where that goes. It goes right here. There's this little lug you take off right here. This then threads on right there, and you're able to make this suppressor ready. So this little 22 can be suppressor ready if you wanted it to be. Now with that, we're gonna get into the numbers. With our nice Taurus Tx22 Compact, we do have a 3.5-inch barrel on the firearm. We have an overall length of 6.7 inches. We have a width, including these safeties right here, of 1.25 inches. We're running a height of 4.9 inches, and it weighs about 16.5 ounces is what they said online while it is unloaded. Now as you can see right here, even putting the mag in, you're not really going to increase that length, because you can see right here it has a little dimple there. It seats up there very nice and easily. The mags do come out of there very easily. They kind of shoot out of the firearm. As you can see, they're going to pop out, make it very easy for you to get in there. There are a little bit of cuts, as you can see here and here. So if you did need to strip the mag, you can actually get a grip on that magazine, which is actually a very nice feature, especially in a budget-ended firearm. Now, with that, we're going to talk about the trigger. So the trigger isn't something that I was 100% a fan of at the store, but I thought this was going to be a great training aid. But if you look right here, again, we're going to show clear. So I'm going to grab my snap cap here, because we don't want to be slamming into the edge of our barrel with our striker there. Rimfire can damage that firing pin, so let's get that in there. So if you look right here, there is a little bit of like a hinging motion here, right? That's not the take-up or the wall. I guess it would be part of the take-up, but it's literally just kind of hinging motion on that trigger, as you can see. Now once you do get through that hinging motion, you get your take-up and you have a pretty solid wall, and it goes off pretty quickly. Now if you do that again, tactile, nice short reset, and then it's a solid wall, no take up, you're on it again. So let's do that one more time. Creep it out, right there's your reset, maybe that little itsy bitsy bit of take up, and then boom, right back on that trigger. Now the trigger pull in this firearm is around 4 pounds. That's what we were getting when we were testing it. That's what Taurus says it is. So it's actually pretty close to what they're saying. Now it does have a lot of nice features, so let's get that snap cap out of there. As you saw, it's out off to the side, again showing clear, unloaded there, unloaded here. We do have a lot of features that are going to be really great for this firearm. I think we get it out there to the range, it's going to be pretty comfortable in your hand. There is one thing I don't like, and we'll talk about that too when we're out, while we're going through this, just to kind of note it, just so you can look at it, see how it's going to make you feel in the store. So you can see this side and this side, there is something lacking on this side, right? So it does have a slide stop slide release right here, and it is set up for the right-handed person. We do have an ambidextrous safety right here. It's very generous, very easy to get on and off. And then we have a swappable mag release here. So if you are left-handed, you can flip everything, run it from the left-hand side, except your right-handed slide stop slide release. So again, another downside, but again, a budget firearm isn't going to throw everything fully ambi. Now, we do have a nice set of front and rear slide serrations, and these are very easy to grip, very aggressive. They're very deeply textured in there. So when you really get a hold of them, you can really feel that you've got a good grip on those serrations when you're out there racking that firearm, whether you're doing this, whether you're press checking, anything like that. Super easy, super comfortable. Now the slide does have some lightning cuts in there because it is optics ready. Now with that, making it optics ready, we've got to make sure that it's still going to cycle whenever you do put an optic on there. So it's important that they are like that. So it's also a fully cut out ejection port, as you can see there, all the way around. So that way it can just get out of the way. No hang-ups with those 22s or anything like that. We do have a nice polished feed ramp in there, and it is a fixed barrel in there. It is not going to slide back and forth, doesn't reciprocate like a lot of our 22 firearms that we have. As you can see right there, is not a tilting barrel design. Other features that I think are fairly nice here is it does have some stippling. It's not super aggressive, and the back straps are not changeable on here. So the size of the firearm is the size of the firearm. It does have this little notch, if you can see right here, for kind of like a finger groove. I'm not sure I'm 100% a fan of that. It feels a little bulky when I do have it there and I'm holding it in my hand. So I'm not sure that's going to be super comfortable for me out there on the range. If you had slightly smaller fingers, or it might be, it does have a little bevel here, as you can see, maybe help you keep that down if you do throw a red dot, if this is your first red dot firearm, because a lot of the time you lose the red dot by tilting up. So that's actually going to, force you to keep your hand down. Same with this, maybe lessen the recoil. Again, 22 is not going to have a ton of recoil, I am well aware, but that is something that we wanted to discuss. It does have a good, generous trigger guard, as you can see there. It's got a nice high undercut. It's got a little cut here. No texture on the front of the trigger guard, as you can see right here. Now it does have a little groove, so if you did want to index that way, put your hand out there, have a nice more active grip on this firearm, you could do that. It's pretty smooth in this area, and it's the same on the other side. I do like this kind of cutout here, because it really does give you somewhere to put that thumb. You can really ride this ridge right here and really give yourself a really good, comfortable purchase, really great grip on this firearm. I mean, that's a really nice cut. It's also on the right and left side of the firearm. So if you're right-handed or left-handed, it's going to work perfect for you. You do have a one-slot pick rail right here. So you can run a lighter laser. I know in the box they give you a couple discount codes, a couple lights and lasers that'll work with the firearm. It's got a pretty nice deep cut in there, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to run a lot of things. But a lot of things that are going to work on a Glock are probably going to work on this, because there's that same style one slot pick rail on there for this firearm. Now the sights, they are a white dot front, a serrated U in the rear, kind of more like the Hellcat sights that we have out there. They're not terrible. They are serrated. They're going to be out there. Probably pretty easy to acquire when we are out there shooting, as you can see. You do have that one focal point, and I do kind of like the blacked out rear with the one focal point in the front. I think that's very nice to have on a firearm. Now with that, let's dive into the weight of the firearm. So we're going to check the weights here, make sure everything they say online is correct. As you can see, the firearm is unloaded, no round in the chamber, no mag. I do have one empty mag here, as you can see right there. There's no ammo in it. I'm going to insert that in the firearm, let it run forward. We're going to sit this on the scale. We are running 1 pound, 0.5 ounces, right? So that's not too bad. That's right where they said it was going to be. Now, let's see what it feels like when it's loaded. So I do have 13 in here. I've got the +1 off to the side. So this is 40 grain. I am not going to put one in the chamber. So I'm going to run that mag in there. I'm going to sit it right here. I am going to add my one bullet right there to simulate one in the chamber. We are running 1 pound, 2.1 ounces. So it still doesn't add a lot of weight. That's going to be an easy firearm out there in the range to conceal all day, to carry around, to tactically move around and shoot things. I think this is really set up to be a great trainer for somebody getting into concealed carry, or, you know, if you want a concealed carry, you can get 22 ammo for 6 to 10 cents a round, depending on what you want to shoot. And, you know, I think this is going to be good to help you keep your costs down, but still get you out there for that live fire practice. So with that, we'll remove that. We'll show you everything's clear, and we're going to move into disassembly. So now we're going to talk about the disassembly of the Taurus Tx22 Compact. So as you see here, we are unloaded, nothing in the chamber, no magazine, double check to verify, nothing in there. So what you're going to do is, once you know you're unloaded, your magazine's far away, you're going to push this slide forward, you're going to pull your takedown lever. You saw it kind of drift forward, you're going to pull your trigger, and it's going to release that slide, right? And the slide just kind of comes up, it doesn't slide all the way off. You can see there's a rail here and a rail here. You can see this is our locking mechanism here, right? That's what holds everything together. That's your takedown lever, which is located right here. And it's got a tab on each side. It's easy for you to firmly grip and pull down on the firearm. Now, if we get our recoil spring out, now it does run kind of a fixed barrel system like I talked about, right? We saw it wasn't tilting, but you saw it kind of came off with the slide, where some other 22s, it kind of stays attached to the firearm. Now how that works is there's a rail here kind of that locks it into place, and that takedown lever actually locks into this groove right here. So if we do that, we can put this all back together, kind of stick that barrel on there. Got to line those up, and then I have to pull down this takedown lever. Oop, I popped it right out of there. Right? So that's how that actually looks inside of there. So these two sets of bars here, right? So these are actually slide rails. These are actually just for the barrel in the rear. And that's what actually locks your barrel in place for that barrel design. So that's kind of cool. It's something neat, a little different. I thought that was kind of cool, something nifty out of the box that Taurus had done. We do have other rails here, as you can see. So, I mean, it's a pretty neat little firearm. There's your safeties. Then to get that barrel off, it's super easy. You just pull down and you're able to release that barrel and put it up there. Now you do have a polymer lower here. It is actually kind of, I think it's heavier than the slide when you get it all separated. You can see it's nice and flat here, so you may get a little buildup here, but I don't think that's going to be that much of an issue. Your rails are here and here, here and here, so there's not a ton of rails in there, right? There's your striker, everything inside of there. You can see safety, extractor. Everything's pretty fit and very comfortable in there. Your trigger bars on the side. So you can see how everything works together inside of our Taurus firearm. Now we do have an aluminum slide, and it has a hardened anodized black on it. So it should hold up, be pretty durable. There are no real tapers on the front for holstering or anything like that. But as you can see, there's lots of lightning cuts in the slide to make it easier and lighter for you to get on. You have our optics plate here that actually has a little bit of texture. So it's not going to put glare in your eyes, which is important. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's important for anybody. You do have a driftable rear sight, but your front sight is fixed. It's not really going anywhere. It's held in there by that little hex key down there. It's actually a pretty slick little firearm, and it shot very well for us. We did get our 150 rounds through here, and once you get out to the range, it's very nice. We do have our dual capture recoil spring, just the big circle, so you don't have to worry about that when you put it back together. So just reassembly, it's very easy. You're going to slide your barrel in, make sure it seats, put the big end, right, the larger part of the spring goes forward, get it seated with your barrel. Ooh. Riding the struggle bus, there we go. Seat that with your barrel, and then what you're going to do is you're actually going to kind of lower this down on top, right? So there's a cut here in the rear, if you can see here and here, and here and here, and you want to line those up like this, right? It doesn't go on from the front and slide back like a normal firearm would. So you want to push this down. As you can see, it pushes down that takedown lever, and then when you want to hold it down, clicks in place, rack, and then I do have my snap cap that I'm going to use for functionality. So again, snap cap, no ammo. I'm gonna drop that in there. And I'm gonna check for functionality again. And you can see that it functioned very well. Extractor worked good, so it took that snap cap out. So now we are good to go. Another thing I wanted to talk about before we end this video is this undercut here. It has a really nice high undercut here and under the trigger. You can really get high on the firearm. As you can see, get a nice purchase and then lay your support hand in there. And I really like these grips again for that thumb hole. I think that's really comfortable. I think it's really great. I think this is going to be an amazing training tool, especially for concealed carry. If you're going to put a red dot, this is going to be a great first red dot gun because it does have this flare at the bottom of the mag well. It does have a little flare for you to funnel those mags in, but again, there's a bump here to help you really keep down, really keep that grip down, let you get a nice high bite on the firearm. So that way, as your firearm does kick and recoil a little bit, you know, you're not going to lose that dot up. It's going to help you keep that firearm flatter and easier for you to shoot that dot. So, I hope you liked the video. Come back, check us out for the next one. We'll see you again. Thanks for watching our video. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
Comment below. We want to hear from you. Get more content from family firearm reviews by joining our Patreon and checking out the link